Good evening and welcome to the Protective Services Committee meeting for today, September 12, 2024. Please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. Legislature Sage, can you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Legislator Adnizio.
Present.
Legislator Sage.
Present.
Chairwoman Nassarino.
Present. Moving on to agenda item number 3 is the acceptance of the Protective Services meeting minutes for June 18th, July 23rd, and August 13th. Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to agenda number 4. Is approval budgetary amendment 24A082, maintenance fees from the town of Kent and villages of Cold Spring and Brewster, access software from the computer-aided dispatch CAD records management system. We have here with us this evening is Captain Shepperly and Sheriff McConnell. Do you want to come forward, please? Sure. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Diane, do you have extra pen?
So I see that this is an agreement that allows the county to grant affiliated organizations, which are government entities separate from the county, to access the software hosted on the county services, correct?
That's correct. This is the software that was used to purchase a new computer-aided dispatch records management system for the county, which was offered to every law enforcement agency in the county to utilize. The villages of Brewster and Cold Spring accepted, the town of Kent accepted, with the understanding that they would be responsible for a portion of the yearly maintenance fee.
So the yearly maintenance fee, as per the memorandum of agreement for access to pilot technology software for the CAM RMS between the county of Putnam and the town of Kent, $25,000, I'm sorry.
And subject to an increase, a yearly increase of 3 to 6%, depending upon the increases forward to us from Tyler New World for that system. The villages are on a fixed rate, $3,000 each per year.
Oh, okay, that was my next question, like I said. Okay. Any questions from the committee?
No.
Any
Questions for the chair?
Yes.
I'm just wondering, why Carmel wasn't, they just didn't want to?
Carmel
utilize the
declined
software?
to engage and participate in this CAD RMS system.
Okay. And all the
Instead
other
seeking
towns are?
more.
All the other towns and villages have?
Yes, they participate.
Okay. They must have their own.
It was offered free to every law enforcement agency. State police participate, the villages, the 2 villages, and the town of Kent. It's a significant improvement from where we were.
Do you have an indication as to why Carmel didn't want to?
They just told us they declined to participate.
Huh. Okay.
We've reached out to them several times, telling them the offer's still on the table, but haven't heard a response.
Any other questions? Any questions from anyone in the audience? Okay. I would like to make a motion to move this forward, and this is in the amount of $31,000 with 0 fiscal impact for 24 and 25. So the second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And moving on to agenda item number 5 is an FYI fund transfer 24T273, funds for dispatch backup center for 4 power phone licenses. I see here we have the deputy Commissioner from the Bureau of Emergency Services, Mr. Falloon. How are you this evening?
Well, how are you?
So this is for additional funds needed for dispatch backup for the 4 power phone licenses. Is this through year end?
Yeah, so the backup to Sheriff's Department, usually that power phone system, when we're there, we log into our building remotely. So we thought it was in our best interest to actually have the computer software on the computers at the backup site. And originally, the price was $4,000 per, so we hadn't planned on spending the money. Then when we spoke to them and we were able to get the price reduced, then we decided that we would do it.
The request is to move $4,000. It's just moving within your budget.
Correct.
And there's zero fiscal impact. Any questions from the committee?
No.
Any questions from any legislators? Any questions from the audience? Okay, there being none, I make a motion to move this forward. Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Don't go away.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 6 is an update on the Putnam County Radio Project, ITGIS. Director Lennon of the Bureau of Emergency Services, Ralph Lipton, said, I see you're here representing the Bureau. Can you give us a brief update?
Yeah, so we've made some really, really great strides in coming down the stretch. Tomorrow, I believe, Sheriff, we have our final meeting for the, so tomorrow we have our final meeting for the testing program. And if all goes well at the meeting, we will literally start testing with Motorola, the acceptance test starting Monday. Hopefully it'll be no more than 2 weeks, and then hopefully Director Lannon believes that within a month after that, we could planning to have the Sheriff's Department live on the new system, barring no issues with the testing, and the 1 month after that to get all of our ducks in a row. The Sheriff's cars, I believe you're about 100% programmed and ready to go. So the Sheriff's Department is about 100% programmed and ready to go. So we are hoping October, the Sheriff's Department will be live on the new network.
That's exciting.
It's very exciting.
That's
Very exciting. Yeah, so I mean, Director Lannon, the Sheriff's Department, the Bureau, we've been really working hard the last few months to get this to that finish line. So it's incredibly exciting and relieved. So.
A long time coming.
Oh, please.
Moving parts, right?
Yes, absolutely. So we're excited.
Chief of the Putnam Lake Fire Department, Mike. How are you?
Not too bad.
Do you want to add anything to this conversation?
To the-
You're waiting for the next.
I'm just waiting for the next
exciting
one. I came up
event.
too early, sorry guys.
Okay. But Ralph, you stayed there too. So that's just an FYI. So moving forward on to agenda item number 7 is the Putnam County Rescue Task Force. The legislature unanimously approved that at our last meeting. We recognize what a valuable resource this is. But that being said, there was still some outstanding questions and information that my colleagues would like to have the opportunity to speak as the next steps going forward. So Mike, if you could lead us into that?
Yeah, so right now we have Alpha team, which is Putnam Lake, Patterson, Brewster. Bravo team, which is the Carmel, Kent area. Charlie team, which is the Phillipstown area. And I haven't started working on Mayapack Falls, Putt Valley yet. Trying to go slow. Not trying to overwhelm myself yet. The other big questions have always been, has the county approved it? So that's also why I haven't gone so far. But right now, my Bravo team is training at Carmel's Firehouse as we speak. We have a training event coming up October 8th, Putnam Hospital for active shooter training. And I'm just trying to move as best as I can right now.
How many volunteers do you have? with us?
Right now, I have about 40.
Oh, wow.
Very good.
This is, a lot of guys want to do this team because everybody sees how important it is. Just what we have 2 school shootings in the U.S. recently.
This is very scary
But
world.
it's not only for school shootings. Could be anything. Active threat, could be till you foster farm, any type of event. Last year in Maine, they had someone shoot up a bar, then went to the bowling alley, shot up the bowling alley. So we train to go into a warm zone where normal EMS fire personnel can't. So that's our biggest goal. So if anybody has any questions, I can hopefully answer them.
Any questions from the committee?
Through the chair.
Yes.
So Mayapack Falls are not on board yet, or you just haven't gotten to them
I
yet?
just haven't gotten to them. When I did speak to them, maybe like a year ago, the biggest thing was, has the county approved it? That was always the biggest thing. And I would have to say, no, the county has not approved it. But they are interested. So I just haven't gotten to that process yet. My goal is to basically have every department involved in the county. So no matter what happens, there's close personnel within the area that can respond right away, because timing matters. So,
Chair. So now that we have passed a resolution, they will be
most likely, yes.
more than likely to participate.
I know
That's my
Putnam Valley-
district. I would hate to lose my district.
No. So like I said, no, I will be going to everybody. And like I said, now I can update the fire advisory board that the county's on board with this. That was always the biggest thing, is the county gonna approve it? Why should we work so hard just for the county to say no?
Right.
So now since we got
We
that,
had a process that we
yes.
had to follow. We had to have a public hearing. We had to determine who would have the public hearing. Turned out it was the legislature that would have the public hearing, and we had to schedule that. And we got some outstanding questions that needed to be answered before we moved it to the full meeting for a vote.
Just so everybody knows this, I started this 4 years ago. This has been my baby. And it's been a long process for me. And like I said, everybody's like, oh, well, did the county approve it yet? No. This is my 4th time here, so it's nice actually now. It's a weight off my shoulders, and I can actually go full steam ahead and get everybody on board.
Awesome.
I'm proud to
Yeah.
recognize my biggest citizenship for phone, Patterson guy, born and raised. So
I'm a
very
Laker.
proud of that initiative that you were proud, and I'm very happy that it has come to fruition as well.
Thank you for your hard work.
Any questions?
Appreciate it.
Legislator Crowley.
Are you following any specific model? With
Yes, so we follow, it's basically a national standard. LSU came out with a active threat, and basically national standard what everybody follows across the country. We are hoping to get that training here in the county again. It's free training, doesn't cost us anything. We just need to provide the police officers and firefighters for the training. It's through FEMA, I believe. But it's great training. It's probably the best training I've physically ever been to.
Legislator Castellano.
Yeah, first off, great job for all your efforts on this. I was just wondering, you said there was 40 volunteers already?
Yes.
Like, what's the divide between the 3 groups that have already, are you like at 12, 12, and 12, or?
So right now, I'm trying to stick to almost about 20 per team,
Okay.
just to keep it small, so get everybody going, trained, and then from that, we can go more. Like I said, I got guys in Carmel Firehouse where they got 20 guys alone that want to do this team.
Okay.
So,
Well, great work. Keep up the good.
so I'm not short people, that's for sure, so.
Legislator Montgomery.
Yeah, I just want to thank you. I know it's all your volunteer effort in doing this, and it's been a long time coming for you. And there is a lot of interest. I did speak to most, not all, most of the chiefs in my district, and there is a lot of interest and wanting to move ahead with this. I did have some questions at the full meeting. One here is, you said you're trained to go into a warm zone where fire and EMS normally can't.
Yes.
So what's a warm zone?
So you have cold, which is outside, so like structure fire, cold zone's outside. Warm zone is PD's in there, but they don't have the threat locked down yet. But we're surrounded by police officers. We're fully geared up with vests and helmets, same stuff the police use.
If I may, if I can just have a dialogue,
Go
if that's
ahead, yes.
okay. And that was my other question when I looked at this and looked at the presentations you did previously. What seemed to be lacking in the resolution was contributions of police, municipal police departments, local police departments being on the team. So I just wondered why.
So the police job is to get the threat, end of story. So we're taking something that they're so used to doing is helping victims and trying to take out the threat. We're taking that away from them so they can worry about just the threat.
Yeah, with the county being spread out, the staffing for PDs, usually all hands for them are initiating any active threat. So there's, in theory, there's no one generally left for them to do the rescue task force work, which is how it came to these secondary teams. So the law enforcement can 100% focus on the threat, and knowing that those in the warm zone, the rescue task force is protected by the police in front of them looking for the threat, and the police also know that there are people that are tending to the victim. So as they walk by them, they don't have that feeling of leaving the victim to die on their own. They know that the rescue task force will be behind them, tending to the
Yes.
victims and stopping the bleed and removing the victims to be transported.
So my question would be then, who's incident command?
So it's a unified command. So it's between police, fire, EMS. And then a big event like that, you're gonna have, local politicians there too. So we all work together to run the scene. Not one person is in charge.
There's not going to be one incident
Nope.
command.
No.
So that's kind of why I hesitate. I voted.
Yeah.
For it. No, I was in favor of it, and I know there was a lot of interest, but I do question, and I've talked to municipal police departments, and there's a little bit of a little hesitancy there.
So that's why it's called unified command, because police are in charge of the police aspect. Fire EMS is in charge of EMS in that aspect. Unified command basically just brings everybody together and says, what's our mission? What we have to get done.
And I think the other thing that, like it or not, because it's more of a crime scene, I would say in general, the law enforcement would most likely be the supreme incident commander because of the fact that it's a crime scene. So even though it's a unified command, I think fire and EMS would not, it's not necessarily their purview to be overall in charge of that scene. It is a crime scene. So,
Yeah.
so in general,
I wouldn't be telling a cop what to do, and he wouldn't be telling me
Yeah, no,
how,
I would I would
Yeah.
like to see them part of the team. I just think it would benefit, like when you're going into, so you might have to support Cold Spring, let's say, right? You don't know the layout of the school in Cold Spring. The fire departments do, but the one that does more so than anybody is the Cold Spring Police.
So like I said, we'll be working together. It's not like I'm trying to go over there to tell him how to do his job. I'm going to tell him what I need to do to get my mission accomplished, and we're going to work together to get the job done. Like I said, something like this, there's going to be stages where fire EMS, after a certain point, we're going to be leaving. PD's still going to be there.
Well,
So,
like I said, I was in support of it. I voted for the fire departments. I'll make that clear. Fire departments in my district are very much in favor of it. I do caution and hesitate, and I think I would like to see police involvement in this team, because that's what I've been told by local police departments as well.
Captain Shefferler, would you like to weigh in?
If I might, we sat down with Commissioner Lipton, I think it was in March. Since then, we have committed to respond with them. We have actually invited them to some of our sheriff's response team practices. For example, we
practiced in a motel that was going to be destroyed in Westchester, so we sweep the hallway first and hit the rooms. We leave some people behind with them with ballistic shields. We then escort them in. We provide cover for the hallways and rooms while they address the medical, and then we've practiced extricating everybody. We actually have a training coming up on the 27th of this month, and then on October 8th, we have a full-scale drill at Putnam Hospital, where we're going to have different scenarios, but part of the second half of our scenario is the response team will take them in and out so that they're used to moving with us and we're used to protecting them and moving back and forth. So that's already underway, and we expect to respond anytime, and when we're responding, if we have anything, we're going to be asking for their response to be with us.
Just that wasn't clear with the local police departments. It wasn't clear with Cold Spring, it wasn't clear with Carmel. So
Well,
just
again, it was, at the time, the Commissioner Lipton, it was not approved, but we started, there was already one team somewhat in place, so we started practicing together so we could get a sense of what they needed, and they could get a sense of what we could provide with them.
I understand that the local departments are not, the local municipal departments are not involved.
Well,
That's
So-
directly from them.
So I have members on my team who are Carmel cops, who are Kent cops.
That's great.
So, yes, they are police, but, they're also volunteer firemen and stuff, so they've been talking to their departments and stuff, so, except for Cold Spring, I have not talked to anybody at Cold Spring. Sorry about that, Ralph. But- So, basically, almost everybody we have talked to about this and stuff.
So it's an evolving.
Yes,
Yeah, and
like I said,
I understand that, and I respect
I've been
that.
taking very small steps
Yeah, no,
up
it's
until
a lot
this
of
point,
effort on your part.
because I don't want to go too far ahead, just to get, unfortunately, burnt out for nothing.
So now you understand my
Yes.
concern, that's all. Thank you.
Legislator Crowley?
I was just questioning now with the separation of the two teams, how does that work with the response? Are you still responding?
So whoever calls us, we
You
go.
go, okay.
Yeah, so we'll probably have, it within the CAD system, there'll be call types. So any of those call types that fit, it'll be an automatic, or as in mutual aid if we are directly requested.
My goal is not just for actual events, it's also for education too. At some point, I would love to be able to, go to county office buildings, teach county employees, town employees about how to deal with active shooter situations. That's also another part of my goal, for education. Not a lot of people know about it. It's actually sad kids know more about active shooter situations than adults do.
Thank you. And with the new regulations that they're putting through the schools with the active shooters, how are you guys working that out?
So, once again, slow process. I know the sheriffs, I've been talking to them because they're mostly the SOs for a lot of schools, so I've been talking with them. But once again, it's slow steps, but
We'll bring you back. for
And a lot of effort,
updates.
and we really do
I
Yeah.
appreciate your
appreciate it.
effort, thank you. I just wanted to ask some-
no, it's fine.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it, thank you.
It's pretty fluid at this point in time, and we recognize that, and as, the progress is, we'll have you back to this committee to update us, and we really think that this.
I mean,
this is
I'm
a
hoping-
coordinated effort.
By, somewhere in the new year to have all the departments in the county on board.
Yeah, we feel that we can pick up the pace now that it is completely official. Of those 40 volunteers, not all of them are, they're not on a team because they're not members of their department, and we didn't have our team up and running. So, we have our SOGs, our membership applications. So we believe that this 4 years of slowly moving has prepared us to pretty much jump right in, especially, we had amazing training that the sheriff's department has provided for those that are on the team. So we believe in the way it was handled, it actually benefits us now that the team is up and running. We are already hitting the ground running, so instead of creating a team and then starting this, we are ready to go. So we can't thank you enough for supporting us, always supporting the Bureau, and unanimously voting for this rescue task force. This is just tremendous.
So,
And
thank you.
enough for all the
I appreciate
volunteers
it.
that donate their
Yes.
time and talents and energy towards helping others. It's just remarkable, and we're very proud of them. We have one more, Matt Bruno.
So you have paid firefighters and paid police officers on your squad, yes?
No. Well, are you talking about outside being a volunteer for this?
Well, I'm really thinking about insurance, because general liability, Putnam County would have to cover the general liability for the entire task team. However, if you have paid firefighters and paid police officers, the GML 207C and A would cover them individually. If you have volunteers that are not part of a fire department or a police task force, the county would have to take action and absorb that risk for them on the workers' comp side. But I wanted to see specifically
So,
how to model.
correct me if I'm wrong. The way county teams work is once you respond to an incident, you are covered underneath your department's insurance.
Correct.
So
That's workers' comp, GML
Yeah.
207 and A. But general liability, Putnam County, if Putnam County is the umbrella, Ralph, it's the umbrella. So the Putnam County would take on the responsibility of the general liability if, let's say, someone got shot on accident and they sued the task force, the county would have to reflect coverage for that task force. So it would just be an added responsibility and/or an added risk. So just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. I'm in full support of it, but I didn't know if you guys were aware of that, or just want to put it on record, just to do my own due diligence.
Thank you.
Mike, maybe you could submit a list of names.
Yes.
Of who is volunteering, and if any of them are paid fire or police, you asterisk that, so we can take care of that, okay?
Through the chair. Thank you. You mentioned the free training through FEMA. Is that a requirement for all the volunteers?
So unfortunately, we're dealing with volunteers. We have your regular stop the bleed training, all the training we do. The FEMA training I was talking about through LSU, it's a 3-4 day training, normally done during the week. It's hard to get volunteers, especially in today's world where everybody's working 2-3 jobs. Take off 4 days of work. A lot of people do, but it's still very, very hard. So I don't want to make that hardcore requirement. Also, they're limited in how many people can take the class. It's normally about 15 fire EMS compared to, they want like 25 cops in the class. So it would be like first come, first serve, but try to get this within your first couple years. But we have stop the bleed, we do CPR, all your normal stop the bleed stuff. My guys train right now once a month as local teams and then quarterly as a big team. That's my standard.
So in our standing operating guidelines, we do have a minimum set of requirements that they must have to be on the team.
Thank you.
Legislator Elner?
If I may, to the chair, to Risk Manager Bruno, do you foresee additional insurance needs to be procured to protect these gentlemen and the county?
I don't see anything with regard to the comp, because they should be covered under the GML 207C or A program.
General liability.
Exactly. And to be honest, I don't really foreseeing a lot of massive attacks where they would be utilized, where we'd have to exceed a line of limitation, meaning increase it by another $1 million or $2 million. I think the existing general liability line that we would have under law enforcement liability would be fine and adequate at this time, so I don't think we'd have to increase anything.
Just to continue, I just want to make sure that all these gentlemen, that they're covered too.
They would be covered, any volunteers that are not covered under their own fire department or police department would be covered under Putnam County's workers' compensation plan as a volunteer, similar to those who do the polls on November 5th and 6th. The volunteers that come in, if they were to get hurt, slip and fall and break a knee or something, they'd be covered under Putnam County's workers' compensation plan. Similarly, these volunteers would be covered under that plan as a volunteer. It would be some heavy litigation with regard to it, but there would be coverage, yes, so they would be okay.
So just tell my guys not to get hurt.
Yeah, please don't get hurt.
Just wanted-
I would love to see continued legislature and executive, county executive involvement. And to your point about the FEMA training, it's a wonderful opportunity. And I would hope in the future that the legislature and the county executive can support funding some of that, and a grant opportunity or,
So, you bring funding, I don't know how this even goes, but we would need to be funded for gear. Right
I
now,
mentioned that previously, and I, just to interject, that was one of the questions that came up before we even passed the resolution, and I spoke to Mike Lewis, and he said that would be covered under the Bureau's budget.
get me my stuff.
That was the dishes grant, the 35% I think goes to the sheriff's department and the rest is through that.
Correct.
Correct, that we apply for yearly?
Correct.
So that would cover
The
your
2023
year.
SHIP
Yep,
grant
yep.
was already in anticipation of this. We wrote it in the grant. I believe it was written in the 23 grant in anticipation. So we believe it will have that money for the gear. So.
And
So-
just so everybody knows, when it comes to the gear has a shelf life.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Just like fire gear and, so it's good for a certain amount of time and then unfortunately it's no good anymore. I just want to throw it out there so you guys don't yell at me in 5 years from now.
We need 40 new vests.
Yeah.
So the SHIP grant is annual, so we're hoping that when the shelf life comes, we'll rewrite the grant, so it'll be no cost to the taxpayer or the Bureau line.
No, okay, thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate all
Great
you
job.
do. Moving on to other business, I would like to make a motion to accept other business. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so agenda item 8A is a letter from the Community Engagement and Police Advisory Board. This letter is written to members of the Protective Services Committee. I will read it into the record. I am writing to respectfully request the reinstatement of the Community Engagement and Police Advisory Board in Putnam County. We believe that the Community Engagement and Police Advisory Board plays a crucial role in fostering positive relations between law enforcement agencies and the communities in Putnam County. The advisory board served as a bridge of communication between the police department and diverse residents in Putnam County. Its commitment to transparency, accountability, and community involvement was invaluable in ensuring that the concerns and needs of our citizens were heard and addressed effectively. It is more important than ever to have a platform where residents and law enforcement can come together to discuss issues, build trust, and work collaboratively towards a safer and more just community. We thank the committee for their time and consideration. Scott Rhodes, Jenny Feud, Ronald Reed, Community Engagement Police Advisory Board members. And they do a stupendous job, and they are a great service to our community, and I would like to accept this letter.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
There's also a resolution
Oh, just got it.
reinstating the board for another year.
And I move to accept the resolution, which is has been an annual resolution for the continuation of the Community Engagement Board. So moved? And that will.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. There being no other business, I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.